All right, that is all the information that you'll need right here. You should be able to back up to this point in the video. Take a look at these if you need to give us a call or contact us in any way. Welcome this year to 2023 summer school. This is going to be the best summer school ever. I think I've said that before, but this time I really mean it. All right. The thing that's really going to be wonderful about this summer school is going to be the fact that we have a little extra time in between the end of the school year and then the summer school starting. So school this year, of course, ends on June 7th, and I'm sure that you guys are counting down a little bit. On June 14th, we are going to have our open house. And then from June 12th until June 16th, so 5 straight days, you'll be able to come in if you want to and get your room set up. Okay, so you'll have lots of time to be able to find a little bit of time to come in, get your room set up, and get ready to go. Now, we do have one thing that we have to kind of adhere to this year. We have a restriction during term 3 that we can't use the upstairs. So they're starting some of their construction type things. They're starting some of their projects that they have to do. And because of that, they're going to have to get some of the cleaning and things done. So they're going to kick us out of the upstairs for term 3. So what that means is some of you that are teaching first term, second term, and third term, we're going to put you downstairs so that you don't have to switch rooms during summer school. And then the folks that are here for just first term, just second term, or just first and second term, you guys might be upstairs this year. So your rooms might be a little bit different than they have in the past if you've worked with us before. But that shouldn't be a problem. And we've got lots of people here to help you get your things in and out during that week as well. Now, just a reminder, term 1, the dates are June 19th through June 30th. Term 2, the dates are July 10th through July 21st. And term 3, the dates are July 24th through August 4th. We also have a stepping up to middle school. That's going to have to be abbreviated just a little bit this year. It's going to go August 8th, 9th, and 10th. It's going to be a little bit earlier as well because if you remember, our school year is going to start earlier next year because of the construction that's going to be happening. Now remember also, during the day, our first period, second period, third period, and fourth period classes, they're 1.5 hour long classes, 90-minute classes. The first one goes from 8 until 9:30. Second period goes 9:30 until 11. Lunch goes from 11 until 1:15, but somewhere in there, you'll have a 45-minute break. So it'll either be during the A lunch, the B lunch, or the C lunch. And during that break, you're on your own. So teachers, you guys can do that. You can use that time as prep time. You can use that time to go get yourself something to eat, do whatever that you need to do. Maybe just sneak off to the bathroom. Okay. Our day-to-day operations. So on the first day, if everybody remembers from last year, if you've been here, if you haven't been here, obviously this will be new to you. But on the first day, we meet in the big gym. So we'll be in the big gym. There'll be signs up all around, and the signs will be the names of your classes, your first period class. Okay. And then out by our desk, we will have a rack that will have white baskets on it with little name tags on the front that the students are working on right now and putting together. But they'll have name tags on the front of your classes. You're going to grab that, and then inside there'll be a roster. There'll be some other things as well, a small little first aid kit for your classroom, a couple of things like that. And then there'll be the name tags that the kids have. The name tags are very important because the name tags, they have the student's name on them, but they also have the student's schedule on them. So that's very important for us because as they're walking around in the halls the first couple days until they kind of know what they're doing, it allows us to be able to walk up to the student and say, hey, I can see your name right there, and I can also see where you're headed, so I can take you there. So it becomes very helpful for all of us that we can make sure our students get to where they're going quickly and easily, and it takes away a lot of the anxiety for our students as well. So you will go into the gym, you'll have your basket with you, and you'll stand by your sign. And then the students will be coming off the buses or being dropped off by their parents. And as that happens, they will make their way into the gym also, and they'll be looking for their first period classes. I will be on a microphone and our Red Raider Rec students will be around and we will be assisting any of our students. You're not going to believe this, but we have 1 or 2 students every year that from the time their parents tell them their first period class in the morning until they get to school, they've forgotten what that first period class is. So we help them out with that and we make sure we get them to you. Then once you have all your kids lined up, you'll just be like a mother duck and you will head out of the gym and then the ducklings will follow right behind you and you will head off to your first period class. I'll get on the announcements a little bit during that time and talk you kind of through what we're doing. We'll make sure that we take a little bit of time during our first day of each of the terms and we will walk the kids around a little bit and make sure they know how to get to the bathrooms. The part that's kind of difficult is when we have first and second graders, if they switch to a different side of the building for their class, oftentimes they don't know exactly where the bathroom is on that end of the building, like they did for the last 2 weeks on the other end of the building. And so we just need to make sure that they can orient themselves to the building and that they know what they're doing. And then after we get done with second period, everybody will just hold their kids in their classroom for a little bit. So at the end of second period, the kids will stay in your classroom. And then if they are headed to a lunch at that time, we will come by. Oops, I'm sorry. I messed that up a little bit. We will move to our third period classes. Once we move to our third period classes, then we will sit tight for a little bit. So after second period, we will move to our third period classes. And then our Red Raider Rec students, 2 students will come to your classroom if you have an A lunch, and they will grab your kids, take them down to the lunchroom, and go from there, and then you're free to do what you want. If you have a B lunch, that same thing will happen, but it'll happen 45 minutes into the period. So then some Red Raider Rec students will show up at your classroom, they'll take your students and walk them down to the lunchroom, and then you're good to go. All right, some housekeeping items. By the front desk, and the front desk is located just off of the Commons area, and you'll see that at some point when you come in, even if it's the first day of summer school. You'll still notice us right away if that's the first time you see it. But we will have a copier down there by us. We will also have extra equipment, things like bases, balls, all of those types of things that you might need for your class. We also have behind our front desk extra supplies. I kind of call it our junk a little bit. You guys make it into absolutely wonderful creative crafts that our kids take home with them for their parents. But it'll be everything from egg cartons to pipe cleaners to popsicle sticks, everything that you can imagine we have back there. So you should be able to find things that you need if it's just something small. If it's things that you really needed specific to your class, you already ordered those, and I'll talk about those just in a second or so. The other thing is we will have reimbursement forms and lesson plans up by our front desk. I'll talk a lot about those throughout the entire summer school, reminding you to get your reimbursement forms in. So if there's things that you buy for your classroom, you can fill out a reimbursement form and we can get those back to you. Please remember that the school district cannot reimburse for any taxes. So if you do things, try to buy them with a tax exempt form that you can get from Cheryl at our our district office. Or you can talk to Rachel if you're an organized, and you're a little bit ahead of the game. You can talk to Rachel, and Rachel can help you place that order. We can place them through Amazon or through different places like that, and do that with a purchase order, and then that way it doesn't have to come out of your funds at all, and you don't have to wait for a reimbursement. The other thing is lesson plans. Everybody will do lesson plans for each one of their classes, but the lesson plans don't have to be done before the class begins. The lesson plans can be done by the end of the class. Most of us are not used to doing a 90-minute class period. We don't do that during the year. You guys do anything from, some people are doing 22-minute class periods if you're in the flex mod schedule sometimes, or you're going up to maybe 60-minute class periods and anything in between there. So to do a 90-minute class period and to know exactly how your pacing is going to go is relatively difficult. And so we understand that you're going to be doing that. You're going to have things set up what you think is going to work, but then some days you're going to go a little faster, a little slower, and so you might have to adjust. And so you can turn those lesson plans into us. And they don't have to be very detailed. They just have to be a synopsis quickly. And if you see our lesson plan page, you'll see that we don't give you a lot of space to be extremely detailed. It should be something that you're done with in a matter of minutes, not long. We will have a school nurse that'll be by our front desk area, just down the hall from that. I'm not sure if we know exactly who it is yet, so I think they were in the process of getting somebody, and so we will have somebody on board and ready once summer school starts. And for all teachers, if you do leave the building, if you take your class and you guys head outside and you're leaving what we would say kind of off campus a little bit, if you're headed to the backwoods, or if you're headed to Memorial Park, or if you're headed all the way down to the community park, or maybe you're gonna walk to the library or something like that, you will have to check out a first aid bag that you'll take with you, just so that you have some emergency type items in case they are needed. And then finally, the last part that I have to talk about is for the teachers yourself. So not for the things that we're going to be doing, but for you yourself. You're going to receive a true time code from us. You are not used to doing this during the school year, but you will during the summertime have to punch in and punch out. They're very nice, and they allow us to just maybe do it once a week, so you could do all of your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday on Friday. But then they do want you to submit that each week so that we have our time submitted. And there'll be directions that'll go with that and help you out. Most of you have done it, but you probably haven't done it since last summer. And so you just need to know your true time code again. And once you know that, you can usually kind of work yourself through the system. But that is very important because that does allow you to get paid. And you would enjoy that part of it as well, I think. So you will also need a Skyward username and password. Many of you have that, and you can get into your classroom, your class rosters in that area. And so it'll be the same thing, and then you'll have to do that. Any of our folks that are from out of district, you guys will have to do that, and hopefully it'll be very similar to the system that you're using. You might use Skyward at your school, or you might use a Power School or Infinite Campus. I think those are the two other ones, but they're very similar. You should be able to work your way around and find your classes. We do need you to take attendance during every period so that we can keep track of them, and we also have to turn that information into the state of Wisconsin as well. So I talked a little bit before about supplies. If you're buying supplies for your classes, it would be wonderful if you could do it and have it to Rachel, and she could help you with the order. That way we could do it through a purchase order. And then we don't have to do the extra step of getting you reimbursed. So that would be wonderful if we did that. And then if you do have to order things, or if we're at a last minute or something like that, and you do that, you'll have to fill out a reimbursement form and then get that into us, and we'll get it back to you. Along with this video, we also sent the handbook. You should be able to go through that. If you're the kind of person that enjoys that as your leisure reading, you can take a look at that and make sure you know all of our kind of rules and procedures that we try to follow. So, all right, I think that's all that I have, and we would welcome any questions that you have. So if you have anything at all, you can give me a call. Again, I'll put these numbers up on our screen. I'm sure you love our technology, but we will be looking forward to June 19th for sure, and I'm sure that we will see you sometime before then. Thank you very much. Have a great day.